Well, here's an update on the air conditioning problem. Um, so it turns out that yes, my drain is plugged by slugs. So I got into the unit and my flushing it out with bleach water didn't work, although it did help. I'll explain in a minute. So I ended up going in and going under the coils and found a whole bunch of dead slug bodies hanging out in there. So the hot water and bleach did in fact kill the slugs that were inside of here. Slugs, if you don't know, they're like snails but without shells. And it's been very hot and very dry here. And of course, they're looking for moisture like everything else. And they found it. They crawled up underneath the frame through the drain hole and crawled along where the water was coming from, and then crawled up into the tray, the drain tray, and into the air conditioning. So the bleach killed them and just left little slimy bodies, and was able to clean that up pretty well. But I'm going to show you. I did clean it out without taking the frame apart, and I will show you that in a minute. So what we're going to do is, first of all, unplug it. Don't think that, yeah, I can just go in there and do this without unplugging it. No, you're going to be in water and metal and electricity, and none of those go together very well. There's a GFCI plug on this thing. Hopefully you don't test it out to see if it works. Just unplug it. Leave the power off. You don't need it. Okay? So you got to remove this screw here. This is with of course, the filter and the cover off. So you got to remove these two screws. And then you have to go along the sides and you press in on the metal and pop the catches. So there's just plastic catch all the way around this once you get these two screws off. And you just we'll just pop this all off. This is the vent control. So this thing has, if you can see it, little plastic notches that come out, little spikes. And that's what keeps this thing from going back all the way into this vent. So you have to use a pair of needle nose and squeeze this together and then push that through. But that's going to be once you get this whole frame loose. Okay. And then what we're going to do is there are screws that hold in the coil assembly on this side. There's a screw down here. You'll see it once this is off. And then the other side, there's also a screw inside that holds that in. And we're going to lift up the coil on both sides at the frame. Don't lift it up at the tubes. You can break or bend the tubes. Don't do it under the fins. You'll see when I get to it. I'm going to pause the video to get this, get the front of the air conditioner off, and I will show you that. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this up. So I've got this large screwdriver under this side of the coil, and I've got this side of the coil up sitting on the lip of the metal here. And here's the plastic tab. See the little spikes that are on both sides? So those have to be squeezed in to get them through the frame, which is, this is upside down, which is right there. Okay. And when you put it back together, you just have to slide that back into that slot and then pull it forward, and then it'll pop back into position. You can see that the top of this is plastic, so pushing the coil up is not really going to affect anything. In the back, the lines are pretty flexible, or they go through, they come through from the outside, so there's a hole and there's foam and protection. So if you lift up on this, and then if you can look, I don't know if I got, let's see if I can turn the light on here. Let's see, there we go. There's a little light on the subject. So if you look way in the back there, in the middle, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. You see there's like a well. It's right in the middle. Now in this one, it's in the middle. Others they put on the side. But that's where the well is, and there's a hole. And that hole, its only purpose is to let water go down. So there's no magic tube from that point on. It drops down to the bottom of the frame, the entire frame assembly on the outside, and then it travels along that frame, the bottom of the frame, to the drain hole outside. So that's how your water gets out of the inside of this to the outside. Now, so what you got to do then, besides the bleach and water, is to use this or something like this. So I'm just going to show you here. Hold on. So I've straightened out the copper. So what you got to do is make a 90-degree bend so this will go down. And then reach back with the copper wire or some other kind of wire, or even a plastic tube, and go back and then poke through that drain hole, and then hopefully anything that's back in there, sludge, slugs, whatever, is pushed through. And then just start pouring water into that tray. I used my turkey baster and a cup of water, hot water, and you should, like I did at some point, just get water going out. So after about 40 ounces of water or 60 ounces of water going into the tray, I had little or none coming back out. So at that point, you know that it's draining out, and you can go outside and check it. So like I said, as you can see, this is on the frame. So you can lift up with this. You could even you can lift up, maybe put some blocks in there. I don't know, you can find all sorts of things to stick in there that would help elevate that and keep it up while you work on it. But that's basically it. So I'm going to put this all back together again, turn it back on, and enjoy. I've had the air conditioner running for over 6 hours with little or no water in the drain, in the pan, and so that's it. So like I said, this thing the cover has little plastic keepers on the top. You push the metal part down, it'll pop these loose. Oops. So, and then, like I said, this will come off, slide that out, put this to the side, take the screws out of the frame, elevate the coils, get into the bottom, get something like wire, poke through that hole, and then flush it out really good, and then reverse the process. And so that's how I fixed mine. Hope this is helpful. 73s.